Calling this a thorn in my side game. It's an interesting calculus that happens in here, what I call the calculus of chess, and I'm black, and we've got a d-pawn opening, and I'm using my usual response to either e or d-pawn openings, which is this knight here. I don't want to lose it, so we have a run around, and in response to the threat on the knight, I did this, which was probably a really stupid move. Probably would have been better to do that, but I did this, which is really stupid because it just opens that line that's very hard to defend on my king there, on those white squares, and the white squares are quite good for white in this game. White has the white squares and I have the black squares in this game pretty much. So now I come out to this safe square here, with the idea being that after whatever he does here, I just go into here, and this will enable me to castle at least. And just preventing him from advancing these pawns too early on my position, because I do want to castle.
Kinside castling.
And then out comes his knight, out comes my bishop, out comes his bishop, and the knight comes back here just to try and scare away his queen. It's annoying me. And she goes back. Then we advance here. And amazingly, he didn't see this. He probably thought he was just going to lose a pawn, but
Queenside castling.
this castling, you see, stuck his castle on a piece, on a square that enabled this revealed check on his queen, and that wins me the rook for the bishop. So that's the opening kind of finished, and I've got my 3 minor pieces and 2 rooks, and he's got 4 minor pieces and 1 rook. So we've exchanged off a minor piece for a slightly better piece. I got the 7 pawns. He has 6.
Check.
And it's insta-check. I probably shouldn't have wasted time with that, because quite honestly I don't want his king to be safe, but hey. And I attempt to trade off, you know, some more material, because I'm up on material. So grab that bishop, comes back with the pawn fork. At the time I felt like I was losing a piece, but I wasn't really, because I've just grabbed one. So it's just a question of now, like that, and he has to grab the material back, and I can take the pawn. So he's kind of lost another pawn actually in the process of that exchange. So I didn't just exchange pieces, I won a pawn, I won an extra pawn, and now he's got 3 isolated pawns. Not so good. Not so good. But threatening checkmate here on the h7. Got to defend. Thank God I've got a black bishop that can slide in amongst that lot if it needs to. And just
check.
Trying to scare away this queen, and she's brave. She's a brave soul. Now this might have been a good time to start thinking about, you know, what's he do next? Yeah, it might have been a good time to start thinking about doing something like this to get rid of that bloody pawn and develop my knight. In fact, yeah, I think that's probably the best move here. But I didn't like his queen there, so I decided, you know, I've got to try and scare her away, and it was a bit of a waste really doing that. You know, even now I could have done that pawn move, but instead I brought the knight out straight away here, which kind of, yeah, not the right way to do it really. But having said that, let's just do this. Knight takes knight. I don't know why he traded material there, because he's down material. Having said that, this pawn here, once I blockade like this, and again I should have used my black bishop to blockade. There was no, well, I suppose there was a hurry because of my other pawn. My B pawn is a bit susceptible to attack once he advances that one, so I needed to stop it advancing. And it also helps to block in his bishop, but really I should have tried to somehow make that be the my black bishop doing that job there in amongst the pawns, but it wasn't to be. It wasn't on the right square to be able to do it. So the queen is doing a blockading job, which is really not the queen's job. And now he starts his pawn advance, starts to look a bit dangerous here. So just stick a rook up here, you know. And I decide that I need to advance my attack on the other side. Got to trade this dangerous nut. I don't like it at all. Got to trade it. It stops his pawn advance, but opens the file down towards my king. But I'm okay. I've got a rook, you know, and everything's on dark squares. He can't attack with his bishop, so... And then this, he decides to try and look for an attack down this side. Well, there isn't really an attack down that side for him. So I just carry on with this chain here. And that's looking a bit tasty because he's got that, you know, that bishop can come shooting down there. So we come up, pawn advance, he does the right thing there, you know, keying them in. And now to here with my... And this, I think, was the wrong move. I think he should have just gone straight for that. Personally. Or even that. I mean, you know, either would start to get the job done. But yeah, but after I put this rook here, because, you know, realizing that my attack down the queen side isn't going to happen, he sticks his queen right opposite it, and I just thought, well, yeah, let's double them then. I know his bishop's still protecting that other thing at the moment, but for him to have any ability to attack me, he needs 3 pieces, because I've got a king and a rook defending that pawn. They can defend against 2 pieces. The first piece takes the pawn, my piece takes the piece, and then his second piece cannot take the piece. So he needs 3 pieces to attack there. That's the calculus of chess. And so that bishop's going to have to come off guard duty of that pawn, which it does to attack. And this is really the interesting position of the game, because it does look like I am slightly in a bad position, slightly shafted here. But in fact, it's not bad at all for black. It's very good for black. Let's see. Now, the danger isn't just that I'm attacking his queen and she must move, which means he can't do any checks or anything. Unless he's really got his checkmate sorted out, which he doesn't, does he? So what was I saying? Yeah, so he's got to move his queen away. He has to. But anywhere he moves it around this whole area is going to... I mean...
Check.
I took the bishop in the end and went for it. But had I done this, I'd have won the queen immediately. But even if he'd put the queen somewhere like here, I could potentially, in theory, have, you know, somehow chased his king in front of the queen. See what I mean? Anyway. Check. Yeah, I think that's where the queen would have to have gone to. She couldn't have gone to, say, I don't know. Well, she really has to go. She couldn't go there, say, because after this he must move. That's what I was really getting at. Anyway, I didn't take the queen. I didn't do that, you know, fork of the queen with the rook. Instead, I just thought this is much more exciting. Check. He's got to take it. Right?
Check.
And he does. But now is where the calculus really unfolds in a terrible way, because he won't even end up with a rook. You'll see. Check. Takes. Recaptures, but with check. And with check means I've got to move left to grab that rook at the bottom there. And now really he should be resigning, as I just Let fate unfold.
Check.
But
Check.
stupid of me.
Check. Promotion to rook.
Promoted to a rook. Because I was so scared of there being some sort of a stalemate if I promoted to a queen. In the haze of the fight, promoted to a rook, and then after this move, rather stupidly...
Stalemate.
went for a third rook. How stupid can you get? When really, why didn't I just do this?
Check.
You know. But hey. Could have done that, couldn't I?
Promotion to queen. Check.
And then we could have had a nice little checkmate like that.
Checkmate.
But it wasn't to be. It was
Check.
a stalemate.
Promotion to queen. Check.
And
promotion to rook. Promotion to stalemate.
And I liked the fact that it was stalemate because he fought on, and he fought on bravely, and he deserved that stalemate.